Howdy, howdy, howdy. Another day on our Project Ford. We have a brand new alternator. Well, remanufactured, but I consider it new. It's new to me. We have an oil pressure sensor for an 5.8 Ford, which is also going to be the same for a 5 liter and a 4.9 liter. We have some adapters here. Now this alternator, what did I buy it for? An 83 Jeep Cherokee for 4.2. I don't know if the 360 was the same, but 4.2 uses the same alternator that this Cummins uses. So we'll be able to get our $10 core back. This alternator is $44. Yeah, I think this is a 63 amp. The Ford alternator that was in there was a 65, so this kind of keeps up just with our regular thingamajigger. There's a brand new regulator. Let's see if our plug goes in here. We were plugged from a piece of ground. Oh, that's so much better. Now, on this guy here, you have 1 and 2. 2 gets jumped to here. 1 goes to a 1 amp light, a light bulb, and then to the ignition switch. And so once the engine starts and this starts spinning, your light goes out and then this starts charging. Or it starts charging, but then once the light goes out, the fields are energized and it's able to chooch. Slip that off there. Slip that dangle. This is our old one. It's bad, and the regulator on the back side of it is smoked. And someone stripped the threads on this alternator down here at the bottom. So thankfully this alternator here is not stripped out and gives us a new proper bolt, so we'll be able to lock that down without any dickery. But it does appear to be almost exactly the same. I didn't screw that down enough. Remanufactured in Mexico. Yeah. So we'll need to change the pulley on it, that's for sure. Kind of reminds me of the Taurus. It's like every time we bought an alternator for it, it's like, okay, change the pulley. This nut should be 10 mil. Like I said, disconnect the battery and no one gets hurt. Set that to loosen. If you lose your nut, don't worry. If you drop it in your turbo because you take your air cleaner out, I'm sorry. It's kind of just in a spot where it's just gonna have to be. Okay, now that is gonna be a half. Yeah, it's a half. They put paint on the bolts, so it's a tight fit. Here's your bar. I put that on good. Even the nut they put down at the bottom here is a half. Oh, and it just turns out by hand. That's hilarious. Yeah, they stripped the thread. I have a playlist of all my videos, and when I get around to it, I will put them on 4BT swaps. So I want you guys to take a look at something. That's our current regulator down in there. This alternator's done. So let's compare. This is like a 6F. That's what it says on the back of it right here, 6F. And then we'll compare it to the new one here. And it is the same size, slightly different, but the pin layout and everything is all the same. The mounting is a little different though. Let's see. I think all I have to do is switch the case around. Or I could just freaking roll with that because it doesn't really matter. Should be a 15/16. Yes, it is. Wear gloves. So an air chisel is very effective at getting this serpentine pulley and fan off of this old and busted alternator. Hard to show you. This is what I used, and just put it right down in the shaft and got it out there. And this pulley has a little adapter on it, so when you run that down, it pinches onto the shaft. So the shafts appear to be exactly the same. I don't know why they would just change the design. But I'm almost thinking that if I run the nut down, that'll just lock that on there. I just want this fan to come off here. Oh. There we go. Without ruining it. And judging by the arrow, this fan turns in the exact correct direction that we need. Okay, on the newer style ones, they went to this fan design because better airflow. This older one, a little bit not so cool. But it looks like this one is going to be a bit of a dick. So, we're going to use this one. Whatever. At least it just pops right back in there. It doesn't hit. Do I need that washer? I'm going to put it in there. So yes. See, Jimmy? Alright, that's as tight as I'm going to get it. So I've got a thick wire, which I'm actually just going to jump to the wire. So before I put this in, I'm going to plug this guy in here. And I'm going to take this thick wire here and I'm actually going to jump it. So I'm going to make a thing to come here. And then the battery and everything will go on there and jump it. But then this guy is where it turns the starts the alternator basically. So we'll test that out, and we'll also test to make sure there's no parasitic drain on the battery by just taking the negative off and just touching it. This one here, when everything is off, there's no sparks at all. If you get a little bit, there's a load. So I'll figure it out, and you'll know when the field's activated. If you spin this, it will be real stiff, or a little bit stiffer than that. It'll stop immediately. Okay, I got one wire jumped. Number 2 is going to the battery. And then this one, like I said, is going to a light bulb slash ignition switch. And we're mounting this thing upside down. I'm actually going to run that in there. Just keep it there in case I decide to use it, which I may actually do that. Just for the hell of it. I want to have a good electrical connection with this truck. Helps. Let's see, how far does our power cable reaches quite a bit, and I can always bring it down a little bit. I got plenty of slack. So that is jumped. Sorry if I bumped it. That's right, we're gonna go like this and over. It doesn't look like I have to move the case or anything. Okay, that is in. We get our new lower bolt. Put that through the hole on the little bracket that they put on this engine. It is threading right now. That's a good sign. This is a GM alternator, so you can pretty much buy this for a Buick, Oldsmobile, Chevy truck, just about anything. So it's a real popular alternator. There's a million upgrades out there. I mean, you can get them 200 amp, 300 amp, what have you. Well, I'm actually pretty pleased about that. You know, 150 bucks can get you a really nice, tough alternator. I already had it untightened. I really do apologize if I get in the way, which I know I am. And of course, the bolt's loose enough where I can't ratchet it. It's pretty nice just being able to buy an alternator. Just, oh yeah, we have one. It's like, oh, it's for an 83 Jeep Cherokee, man. That was amazing. My oil cap leaking. I'm gonna need to get a gasket. This engine has not a single oil leak, except maybe that cap. That's easy to fix. I might even be able to find a cap right AutoZone off of it. So I'll just snug that down. There you go. Brand new alternator. I'm gonna twist that. You know, in that case, I'll just sneak this wire into that little harness I got going on. Run this to my relay, and then it'll go to the switched. I'm doing a new voltage gauge, so I'll be able to just see the voltage, and I'll have a light on that as well. So I touch this to here, the bulb's on, the light goes out for a second. Let's try that. Yeah, it's not spinning fast enough, but the light's going out. We're charging, baby! It charges. Awesome, huh? That's great. There, we have a GM alternator running a Ford. Well, it's running the truck. So I have found our switched spot. What we have here, I probably won't even have to run this light. I'm going to test it. But see, with the key off, this little wire here, it's nothing with the key off. So it comes all the way up here, and he's right here. Okay? So this is that wire that we have down there. Now, what I've noticed, key off, no light. We'll just put that there. So let's put the key on. Verify. We have cab lights? Yeah! Hell yeah we do. It smells like diesel in here because there's some things not quite sealed up all the way. It's an old truck. We got things to do. Okay, I heard something click, so that means the truck is alive. See, we have bulb on. We'll proceed to fire the vehicle up.